Hi everyone, welcome to Cyber Guidance. And today I will be demonstrating how hackers can disable Microsoft Defender for Endpoint and Antivirus, leaving your system wide open to cyber threats. And this tool is called Krueger. The primary goal for Krueger is to bypass security, and it also uses a legitimate WDAC policy, which is basically Windows Defender for Application Control. Before getting our hands on practice, I would appreciate if you can subscribe to this channel and like this video. Now that we kind of understand what Krueger is all about, we can then proceed with the installation process. So first thing first, you need to install Git, and then you also need to download the .NET Framework 4.7.2 and 9.0, which I downloaded already just to speed up this process. And you also want to go ahead and clone the GitHub repo. So you want to clone Krueger from this GitHub here. So you can just come down to code, you copy it, and then you clone it. But before you do that, you need to install Git. And then you also need to download this framework 4.7.2 and 9.0. So now we can just go into the PowerShell command. You run as administrator. And before we even do that, let's check if Microsoft Defender for Endpoint Agent is already installed on this device, and if antivirus is also running. So we can just get minus service, and then you find string it, and then -i sense. Yeah, as you can see, Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection is running. We can also check for antivirus. Yeah, it's also running. So this device is properly managed by a SOC team, and it's onboarded to Intune, so it is properly managed. So now that we have all this, we've checked it, and then we see, okay, it is running. We can just git clone here. I have done this already, but I'm just going to walk you through. So you git clone, and then you just paste this. As you can see, it says fatal destination path Krueger _EDR already exists and is not an empty directory. So we can just cd into Krueger _EDR, and then we can ls. So the next step is to build this Krueger.sln, as you can see here. So you can just .NET build Krueger.sln. Yeah, that's succeeded. And the next thing is to cd into Krueger _bin _debug. I think we can just copy this. Nice. And then we want to run this execution file. Nice. So now we've got Krueger ready. It says here, Defender blocked it. That does not matter. We can just now go ahead and... So there are two ways we could do this. We could either run Krueger directly from this. So you can just search for, and then you're going to here, bin debug. Yeah, so you can just run it. And we can also do this Krueger.exe / host, which is the name of the virtual machine, and username still the same. Domain, still the same. And password. I think it's good. So we can just go ahead and reboot the system because it actually takes effect immediately you reboot the device. So I can just restart the device and that should work. So I already restarted the device and now we can check if Windows Defender Protection has been stopped and also Windows Antivirus, and we can actually check that using the PowerShell. You can also come down here, as you can see, I think, yeah, it says action needed. We can go into, yeah, it says thread service has stopped, restart it now. So I think we successfully disabled Windows protection system. I think if you also come to Task Manager, you can search for, when you go to services, you can search for antivirus. It says stopped. And you can also search for Sense, which is the agent for threat protection. It also stopped. So we've successfully remotely disabled the threat protection system. And this is actually really scary though, because this device can no longer send logs to the CM2, and even the security team can not receive an alert or an incident from this device anymore. Even just clicking on the exe file, also, they don't get any incident. And that's simply because it uses a legitimate WIDAC policy. WIDAC is basically a Windows Defender for Application Control. An organization uses WIDAC for, let's say, for example, they have some applications that they don't want their users to run. They can use WIDAC to create a policy for those kind of applications. And now, threat actors are now using this same policy to disable the threat protection system. So if we check get service type find string, oops, -i, it says stopped. And if we also search for, it's also stopped. So this is actually like really dangerous. And yeah, I can show you what the WIDAC policy looks like. It is, I think if you come in here, it's on the Windows. And then if you go into Windows, you come down to System 32. And then you go into code integrity. So you see this SI policy. This is basically the kind of the WIDAC policy, and it disables also execution files. So Microsoft uses the ISG, which is the security graph, to check for applications that seems legitimate or applications that are not certificate signed. So basically, those applications will not run on your device, and it's just using the same policy to disable the threat protection. So it is actually legit. It's legitimate, and it's not a virus or a Trojan, which makes it scary. Let's try to restart the threat protection system again. It says unexpected error, and this is not nice because, yeah, this device can no longer send logs, and it is very dangerous because the attacker now has full control of this device, and The security team and even the user might not know that WIDAC has been enforced on this device. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and I would appreciate if you can subscribe and like. Thank you.